Hey everyone, this is Parking Lot Radio. I'm your host, Sunny Side Up, and we're sitting here today with Adam Padilla, aka Adam the Creator, aka the big boss of Brandfire Creative Agency. So how did we first originally meet?
We just met outside, just at the.
How did we first start hanging out?
Oh, I saw you crying in a parking lot, and I was like, "You good, bro?" I don't know.
Just history after that.
I think that was it. I think the first time we met, you were visiting the office. Does that sound right? Were you visiting the Brandfire office back on 8th Avenue?
Yeah, I think you guys were having like a holiday party, and someone asked me to DJ. I was like, hell yeah, I'll DJ anywhere.
Right. And you tore it down, I remember.
Yeah, so what'd you think of me? Was I what you hoped I was?
Well, you always vibe. Your music taste is, I love it, because I know it's eclectic.
Yeah.
I know you could get really soulful with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You get some emo stuff, but then you really got, I've heard you play some real hardcore beats too. Like,
I go all over the place.
Yeah.
So you've been kind of like memeing since before memes were even like a thing. Like you've kind of been like, I remember you told me you did like Shitty Bike when City Bike first came out. You kind of like did a bunch of stuff that was like going viral before like going viral. What was the thing? Like what was the first thing that like gave you that first like jolt of like you made something and then it like went out there? Maybe it wasn't on the internet, or like what was the first jolt that gave you like the I guess confidence to just keep creating different types of art?
Oh, I never really thought about the City Bike like a meme, but I guess, or City Board. When
that's what it was, right? Shitty Board?
I made something that looked like a City Bike dock.
Right.
But it had skateboards in it.
Right.
And I just changed the logo. It said City Board. And I made it look very realistic. I did a Photoshop job.
I remember seeing it like back then.
Yeah, and people just thought it was real.
Right.
And if you think about it, that's like kind of a dangerous thing to just give skateboards out. And like, some people don't know how to skate.
Yeah.
So, and City Bike sent me like a cease and desist or whatever. But that.
Yeah. So first cease and desist?
That was my first one.
Damn.
But it was way before memes. Yeah, I didn't even have an account at that point.
How many cease and desists do you think you have at this point?
Probably got like a grip. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's like a huge flex for a memer to have like cease and desist letters. Like how many you got? Like I don't think I ever got
how
any.
many you got? How many cease and desists you got? C&Ds they call it.
I feel like you've got some good ones, right? Who'd you get?
I got Dole. I got Monster.
Wow.
For Monster Energy Ham.
Yeah.
I got Fisher Price. But Fisher Price, actually, I misspoke. Fisher Price didn't send one. They sent like...
They were like a chill out.
They were chill, yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Fisher Price. They didn't send one. They were cool.
Did they say not to do it again?
You know what? No. They kind of just acknowledged... So we're talking about the Happy Hour playset.
Yeah.
Which was... I made a Photoshop of a toy. Everybody knows those Fisher Price playsets, whatever it is. Like... Mm-hmm. And I made it look like a bar, so it looked like kids on the box were drinking, and it had like a little fake beers, but it looked realistic. It wasn't done like to look like a goof; it was done to look real.
Right.
And I captioned up top like, I can't believe they're making bars for kids now, whatever.
Right.
And it was inspired. I have kids. I'm a dad, so excuse me. So I see my kids playing, and I came up with that when I saw my daughter, who at the time was like 4. She was playing on the little kitchen playset.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told my wife, I was like, hey, you know what? What if they made something like this, but it was a bar, right? Would that? And we laughed about it, and that's what gave me the idea. But yeah, Fisher Price just acknowledged it and said, listen, it went viral, first of all. It
was on like news outlets, all that stuff.
Yeah, it was on the news. It was like local news stations were picking it up. Today Show picked it up.
But that was already after like memes were a thing. This isn't like,
Right, memes were already happening. It was known, it was seen as a meme, I think. But a lot of people thought it was real.
Definitely.
Before that, I used to just, I've always drawn. The first thing, honestly, that's a great question about what was the first thing that went viral or got me some recognition. It was like passing drawings around in class. Mm. So it's not the same thing as like a banger with, 80,000 likes, but it's more like if 5 or 6 of the kids are laughing and they pass it, and it's like the hot thing where other people are like, let me see that.
Right.
That gave me that kind of charge. I would draw like a little doodle or whatever.
Yeah.
and pass it around.
Because it's not that different than a meme. It's still like a joke.
That's what
in a visual representation.
Yeah, that's right. And somebody could quickly get it.
Yeah.
And just as quickly pass it on. So.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah. So what's up with this corn kid? What do you see? Where do you see the future for this corn kid going? You've been memeing heavy on it. I mean,
I'm not stopping. I'm gonna probably.
I think they're great. I think you've been killing it. The last two that you did were really fucking good.
Thanks,
on the corn kid.
You actually helped me. Well, you're my like meme idol. Like when you started coming out, you DJ'd, but I was like, oh man, that's Sunny Side Up. I was like, this guy. I followed your account. You were one of the OGs that before I even made memes, I was just posting my sketches, as you know, and but I still loved memes. So I loved your account, and I love Tank and Shithead Steve. Those are like the big ones. Cabbage Cat, Gray Fang. So meeting you and then actually becoming your friend and being able to hit you up for advice, I just always appreciate it. It's like little stuff.
Yeah.
It might seem little to you, but I might get stuck in between.
Yeah. If you're like looking at something for too long, you always want someone else to be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely helped me yesterday with the corn one. I was like, is this one right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good. Oh, that was really good.
No, but it banged. I love the corn kid. I followed that account already, the recess therapy, because like I have kids. I love the wholesomeness.
It's a great account.
It's just cool. It's just sometimes life is it can be so challenging in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And when you see the innocence, the goodness of like just a kid being happy, like he fucking loves corn, man. The kid loves corn. He's like, obviously the way he pronounces it is cute. Right. But the idea that somebody could love something that much, I think that's what everybody feels from the kid, why he's going viral. Right. It's like the kid took a simple thing. Anybody else would take a bite, throw it down. It's just corn. He makes a joy out of it. Yeah. And he even says something
over something so small.
So small. So I love that. I hope that he rides this out. I think that song was great. So I think
it's sick.
Do you like it as a producer? They did a good job, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I heard a few, but I think I know which one you're talking about.
The one for the brothers or the guys that did the original Climbing in Your Window.
Oh, really? Isn't
that those guys?
I doubt it. I don't know.
Oh, I thought they were associated with.
I always will worry about like when someone like especially a little kid, like it's like the same thing as like the child star, like you always worry like something bad could happen or who knows. But I think it's pretty harmless in this case. It's not like he's like a ongoing thing. Like,
I mean, they're going to make it a thing. If that,
make it a thing, yeah.
I mean, he's going to get a sponsorship. It's one of those things, the viral moment. And I think like the kid just looks so pure. I feel like he's young enough that it's almost going to be like a dream state to him. Right. I think it would be different if he's 12 or whatever. You know what I mean? Once you start to like realize what popularity is,
or like conscious
of like, oh, how people see me. Right. He's that young. He's dancing like corn dance. He doesn't give a shit what people. He doesn't care. He's viral. Yeah. If you tell him you're viral, what does that mean to him? Yeah. So I think that saves him. I hope. I think that makes him like, you know what? This is a thing I used to do when I was a little kid. And maybe he'll be like, I don't know, maybe famous for something else one day. Yeah. I hope.
So you're like one of the OGs of like just using Photoshop, not even just like to make memes, but like in general. Like how long have you been using? You're really good at Photoshop. Everyone knows that. It's not like a debate or anything. But I've seen you do it, and when I first saw you do it, the first time I saw you doing Photoshop, I was like, oh, whatever, he's Photoshopping. I didn't really know that many people who knew how to do Photoshop, but as I started seeing other people do it, when I think back, like, and then come back and watch you do it, it's just like something so different. Like, I think you use it like I guess everyone uses it in their own way. Yeah. But you use it in such a unique way that how long have you been using that for?
Thank you, first of all, but it's been like, I mean, I'm 45 now, and I started Photoshop probably as a late teen, like 19 or some shit.
Like what kind of computer were you using even?
A PC at first. I'm on a Mac now, but I had like a PC with a picture tube and everything, like some old fashioned shit. But I did have a Wacom tablet. Really? It was one of the first ones. And like now they're all sleek, but that one was like Battleship beige, like the same as all those like computer things. Yeah. Like it just was, everything was beige back in the day. Like all tech was beige. Yeah. Big ass thick keyboards and shit, and just like And I had this this Wacom, and I learned Photoshop. I learned how to basically paint with it. because I draw.
Yeah.
So I never had a mouse. I like day one of setting up my first computer, I had a friend in college set it up for me. Day one, I didn't have a mouse. I had the Wacom because I bought it
Right.
or I had it built just to draw.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested. I had nobody to email. I had nobody to like, you know. So I would just take almost open up Photoshop and use it like Microsoft Paint.
Right.
Pick colors, draw pictures.
Right. And do you think anyone used it like that back then, or you were just freestyling? You're just messing around?
It was so new. Maybe there was no community, anything. There was no way to even connect with people. It was like, but it was like I was the only person I knew for sure that had a tablet.
Right. Like back then, if you wanted to make a meme on it and then spread it, you'd have to you have to go to FedEx,
like,
Kinko's,
right, and like personally hand it out. But I did, I just started from then. But I developed my own style of using it, and it would have to change because I think that was like Photoshop 2 or something. It was like the first or second Photoshop when I first got it, and I had to keep learning because as they improve the tools, they kind of you have to change. Like,
you have to change with it. Make sure you're learning all the new updated commands and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
So how have you seen like you've seen like Photoshop go from like, you know, a little like thing to where it is now? Like how much has the tech changed since then as someone who's been using it for 20 years or more even, right?
Yeah, over 20 years, probably 25 years
like,
or so.
Do you, when you think about it from the beginning, do you think it's like, wow, it's like such a huge difference? Like I know when I think about when I first started using like my music program, Ableton, like it was so, like the technology has even like 10 years I've been using it. It's changed so much. Like there's so many more like, you know, shortcuts and so many like easier, like it's so much easier now than it was 10 years ago. Even.
Yeah. They built, I mean, I feel like honestly, Photoshop hasn't evolved as much as I would have thought it would by now. I feel like there were a couple of moments where it was like a watershed moment, like, oh shit. Like I remember when smart objects were introduced, it was about 2000 or so. Or even not, maybe in the late 90s or 2000, you could fact check it, but they introduced this concept of smart objects, which is basically a nested Photoshop layered document within the document, or a nested Illustrator object in the document. So what that means is if I have a photo of you and I create a smart object out of an element on the photo, like the logo on your shirt, and I could double click that object, open it up somewhere else, change it somewhere else, save it, and it updates on you. So you could do that. You could replicate things, and you change one, it changes many. That was one of the evolutionary leaps. But other than that, I thought that image selection would be a lot easier and better right now. Like I still struggle with
really?
There are like multi-step processes. They have right now a wand that's supposed to object select, but it's wonky compared to some of the apps. I have this
phone app,
GoDaddy Studio app, and I've seen Google results. I would think Photoshop would be the best at that. Yeah. Like you would click a button and it would isolate the background perfectly. And it doesn't yet. So I'm still I think they're a little bit behind, to be honest with you, but it is still the only game in town. I know that for me, but a lot of other people are using, what's the one that you design websites on too? It's Sketch.
Oh yeah. It's like an iPad app, right?
Yeah. I hear good things about, but it's also desktop.
Oh really?
Yeah. I hear good things about Sketch. It's like, that kind of project.
I feel like I feel like Sketch is a little more similar to like GoDaddy Studio, or like it used to be called Over, but now it's called GoDaddy Studio. I feel like it's more like a app. Oh, I guess because they want to be able to use it on, you know, all devices. Yeah. Right. But it has like, I guess it has like a network built in where you can share documents easily or whatever, right?
It has, from what I understand and what I've used a little bit, it is that it's all about instances. That's what it is. It's like where you could make one change, like almost like CSS, and it ripples the change down. So if I change a font on one thing, it changes it on every instance that's used. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. I want to get into it, but you know, I get caught in. It's what I mean. I know Photoshop so well. I just use it in my way. I shouldn't say I know it well. Some people might know more tools than me, but I just have a way to use it that is kind of unique to that app. So it's hard to translate that over to someplace else. But I'm always willing to learn. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're so, like Adobe's so like prominent. I don't think there's ever going to be like another company that can, you know, really compete at this point. Yeah. They're so like late in the game.
Well, who knows? Healthy competition's a good thing. Yeah. If somebody came out with something, sponsored me, let's say.
Just saying.
Then I would definitely give it a go.
Yeah. So, are we allowed to talk about the documentary at all that you've been working on?
I could text Nate and find out quick.
Okay.
Should I just ask him real quick?
Yeah, why not? Well, we could talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't really do the editing on. We don't edit this, so this is gonna be in the podcast.
That's okay.
Yeah. So you and Tank started a great podcast. When did you first start that? How long has that been going now?
Man, I think we have like 30 episodes, I want to say.
Damn.
Something like that. We have like 2 in the can that we did. And I really think it's called Meme Daddies.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that we're both memers. And Tank Sinatra, shout out to Tank, he was that OG kind of Mount Rushmore figure like with you.
Yeah.
And I said, to do something with him, it's like, obviously we're memers, but we're also dads, literally.
Yeah.
And we're daddies, like kind of zaddy style, because we're,
Yeah.
older, good-looking fellas, So that's our little shtick, and it's fun. We put memes up, we talk about them, and actually it started. And I know this. I'm so happy to be here because when a podcast starts, you find your way. Mm-hmm. You get the flow, and it took us a little longer to find what that flow was.
Yeah.
To find the format. Mm-hmm. And I think just in the past 4 or 5, we were really starting to ride. Like we're feeling it, and it's like, but we already knew that through making meme accounts.
Right. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what people are going to react to. So you got to kind of like, keep doing it on the fly.
Keep going. And then you find out, oh, that worked.
Yeah. So you designed like a bunch of iconic like packaging for snacks and all kinds of like iconic logos. So what are some of the biggest logos or like or stuff that you worked on at that capacity that people might not know about?
So my most well-known logo is probably Tom Brady's TB12 logo.
Yeah, and he still uses that, right?
Yeah, he still uses it.
It's sick.
Yeah, that was a cool one. I did David Goggins, who's the sick, amazing, inspirational. I know that sounds awesome. Yeah. he's a amazing guy. He's a ultra marathon runner and Navy SEAL, and he's been on Joe Rogan and stuff. So I made a DG logo for him, and I was honored to do it because I think I'm a big fan. Mm-hmm. I did a product called Sheets Energy Strips back in the day.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I drew this character that's like, it looks like he's kind of dropping a hit of acid.
Is that a tongue?
Yeah, he's a tongue. He's just a face with a mouth and a tongue. And he's putting with his finger, this hit on his tongue. Mm-hmm. And I've seen people get that tattooed, which is cool.
That's hilarious.
And I did, Pretzel Crisps, original packaging.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Which is the flat pretzels. And
yeah.
Shout out to the Wilson family and who are good people, and Aldo Zippuccini.
Do a lot of people have tattoos of stuff that you made? Like, how about memes? Has anyone ever sent you like a tattoo of a meme or something?
That's a good question.
I feel like you're the only guy that would happen to.
I designed a couple of tattoos for friends and for like.
Wow, that's sick.
For a couple of athletes that were like, whether on the nets or whatever, but like small, little sketches or whatever. But I've seen some stuff. I mean, the sheets thing I've seen several times.
Yeah.
And I don't even think people know what it is. It's just a funny.
Like, yeah. I remember seeing the bus ads. It was like, I think it was like, was it LeBron James?
There was LeBron James, but there also were bus ads
that said like, take a sheet.
Take a sheet.
Yeah.
And that was the one.
That's what I remember.
That went a bit, that also kind of went viral.
Yeah.
And that was before memes.
Yeah.
So that was, it was like a trending hashtag on Twitter. That was the closest thing to virality.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know Twitter was around back then.
It was, but yeah, it was like.
Yeah.
A trending hashtag was like, that was it. That's what viral was. So take a sheet was trending, which was kind of cool.
That's crazy.
But the product was a little too bitter. I don't think it really dissolved as well as it could, but it had potential.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. I got used to it.
It had the right marketing.
And, it's all about the product too. Like you can market whatever at the end of the day, but people have to like it.
Yeah.
So some people thought it was a little bitter.
Yeah.
But, that's showbiz.
Yeah. So you're kind of a guy that's pretty active in the You're pretty active in like, making memes and stuff, and you're always trying to stay on top of the trends and stuff. Where do you usually look? Like, let's say you finish work, it's time for you to make the meme for that day. Where do you like draw inspiration from when you're trying to think of like what's popular now? Like, how do you decide what you're gonna do, what kind of meme you're gonna make, what you're gonna work on? Like, because there's so much to draw from out there.
It's a lot of times it's really friends, and it's listening, just because somebody might mention something, and if you're not thinking about it, if you're not really focused on it, you miss it.
Yeah.
So I listen to friends talk what they talk about, and I ask them questions about it. So the corn kid, somebody mentioned, I forget when, a couple of days ago, last week.
Yeah.
I said, wait, what is that? Who? And I looked it up, and I had
You had to see all the videos.
Yeah, I saw the videos. It was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I browse Instagram like anybody. I browse TikTok now. A lot of genius stuff on TikTok, particularly with. I like the duets. I feel like duets are like video memes.
Yeah.
Because it's the thing, and then it's a commentary, but instead of a Twitter caption, it's somebody talking.
Yeah.
So it almost.
You do those a lot?
I don't yet.
Oh.
I'm getting like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my way in there, and I want to, because I just think it's just fun. I feel like I want to be inspired and moved to do something.
Do you like commentary?
That just something that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Without forcing it, and then I want to get a habit going. But I check that out, and the news sometimes, but sometimes the news bums me out.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if you started making content that had nothing to do with like Photoshop or anything, just pure off the dome.
I would love it, man. I think it's I cruise on those apps. I think everybody there's so much that you probably don't have to be embarrassed. Like sometimes embarrassment, stops me. I'm like, I don't know if I want to film it, but there's so much out.
Right.
Oh, like it's not like somebody's gonna go, oh, look at that. Like,
one
look
guy.
at this stupid idiot.
Right.
They're gonna just scroll past it if they don't like it. It's like,
they're not gonna beat you up.
They're not gonna beat me up. They're not gonna slander me or cyberbully. It's just like, okay, maybe drop a nasty comment, but I could deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever get people recognizing you out in the streets, or?
I have like a couple of times, because a lot of my followers are New Yorkers, and when I posted myself in my story a lot more, like over the past couple of years, I had a couple people come up to me, hey, I'm the creator, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. Took a photo with them. I thank them profusely. I guess I'm just so embarrassed that they like my stuff. I'm like, thank you so much. Like,
you don't have to act.
I don't know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
I should just be like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Please.
Like Seinfeld. Go away.
That's what he does?
No, go away. You didn't. You never.
Oh yeah.
No. Sorry.
That was Kesha. No.
Yeah. I'm sure he didn't know that. I mean, I don't know if it makes
That's
a
okay.
difference either way.
That's okay. No.
It's like no.
People always think I'm Seinfeld. I've got called Seinfeld a few times.
Yeah. So why not lean into it?
Yeah. Well, what's the deal?
Yeah. What do you think's like a really poppin' meme account that maybe some people might not know about? Not like a not like a big guy, but like a smaller guy or girl or.
I don't know how big or small he is now, and they are now. I'm pretty sure it's a he. I like eggs.tyrone. And I know you do a lot of that kind of remix stuff. So
I used to more. I stopped doing it because I'm like scared of like IP, like copyright stuff.
But I like how he juxtaposed. He takes like just interesting shots of people dancing.
Yeah.
And puts on a track that is the opposite vibe of whatever they're dancing to.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes I like when I post those, people are like, "Oh, you're copying Eggs Tyrone." Like,
oh, he's getting known for it now.
People are tagging him in my videos, like, "Oh, he copied you," but like, dude,
That's cool. But people are new to things and they don't know. They're like,
no, I don't care at all. But I think I saw the page. I think it had some cool stuff on it.
The Shaq one that you did, with Blink, where Shaq's the DJ shot when he's in the kitchen with his son or whatever.
Yeah. That was
and the drop comes, and that's about the national away from me.
Yeah, I did that one like I think that was like right when COVID started. I first posted it, and then I posted it again like a few months ago. When
I love that you have all these like musicians following you.
Yeah,
it's so great. Like that they have good senses of humor.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm still waiting on the Tom DeLonge follow.
I thought you had Tom DeLonge.
No, I have Mark Hoppus and I had Travis Barker at one point, but he got too cool. Got like all Kardashian. Started unfollowing everyone.
Right.
But that's cool. But I like know him personally, so I don't really like take it personal, you know?
I remember one day with Olivia Rodrigo when I checked, because she followed me for a while.
Wow.
And she's like the hottest thing going, right? Like the coolest star. And then I'm like, oh man, she dropped me. But then I checked and she's following 0. So
yeah,
I didn't take it personal.
That happened to me with Billie Eilish.
Okay, so then, wow, you have Billie Eilish?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? She unfollowed me? And I was like, all right, it's cool.
Yo, my one time The Rock followed me for a brief stint. It was like a month and then unfollowed me. And that whole month was like the least fun month of my life.
Yeah, you were just so scared.
I was just scared. Everything. I'm like, oh, what if The Rock, doesn't like this?
If he doesn't like it? Honestly, I
but
forgot.
One day he did.
I forgot who that happened to me with. One time I posted like an ad, and some music guy from some record label that I liked was like talking shit. He was like, fuck you. Like, what the fuck is this sellout bullshit?
What?
And then someone else came, like, Duff Goldman. He's like the cake guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He came in, he was like defending me.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he's like, yo, fuck that. Get your bread, bro. I was like, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Fucks with Duff now. That's cool.
Yeah.
And he said, get your bread?
Yeah, he didn't say it like that. He was like, man, fuck this guy. Don't listen to this guy. Yeah.
He should have said, get your bread.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
As a baker, yeah.
he meant that.
See, it comes natural to you.
Yeah. But so who are some of the biggest people who follow you? Like, you got to drop some names right now. Who do we got?
Is that like okay to drop? I guess so, right?
Because I'm asking you.
Yeah, true.
It's not okay to just come up in a conversation and be like, yo, The Rock follows me, bro.
I guess, yeah.
And
he doesn't.
Not anymore.
He doesn't. It was just a short time when I did something with him and Kevin Hart. One of those things. Like
would you rather, like, is it better to be followed and then unfollowed or never followed at all?
That's the classic question.
One. I always think about that.
I can't answer that. Let me get back to you. That's going to be like my meditation later.
For me, I think it's better that they know I exist. For, like, at least they know. You know?
True. Okay.
They tried it. They didn't like it. It's okay.
Okay. I'd probably go with that. Yeah. I'd rather be followed and then unfollowed.
Never followed.
They never followed.
It's funny. I look at, like, I wish Tom DeLonge followed me, and I look at, like, the people he follows, and it's like, oh, like the worst meme accounts. I'm just like, come on.
So
man.
good. So then you don't belong in that trash group. I get psyched about
like,
follows and reposts. Like,
who's some big guys? Let's hear it. Or girls.
It's not even like big. I like shit. Like, I was just sending you Spice Adams.
Right. Like, that's cool.
Funny dude. Like, to me, that's cool that he follows me. Like,
yeah.
we follow each other. Like, that's the guy who's people
OG.
know as the OG. Like, he's Cream Bigums. He's the character that in the music video, he's wearing a yellow blazer and he's behind a tree and he's rubbing his hands.
It's from a music video.
It's a video he did.
Oh.
That's like a R&B spoof.
Got it. So he's like a.
To me, he's like a comedian's comedian. Like, you know him if you're in the, like, he's been on shows. He's
oh really?
He's known. Yeah, he's known. He's always
right.
The NBA just sponsored him. He was doing a whole thing with Shaq and.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Is it all from that one?
I think he's just active. Right. No, that's the cool thing about it is that's not even his.
That's not even his thing.
That's not even his thing. Right. That's just one. It's a still shot. He's just a prolific creator. He does a lot of video.
He's not writing on that.
Nah, not at all.
That's funny.
It's just a sidebar. But so like I like that when there's like respect among creators and comedians. Like, that's the best. Like, I love like Natasha Lyonne.
Right.
Yeah.
So
she follows and she might drop a like or whatever comment. That's like, to me, that's cool.
Yeah. Have you ever like made any like artwork for music artists that you like?
I did a music video for Spoon. Wow. Where they had me do like a speed Photoshop where
I
took,
remember
like,
that.
Yeah, I took like a spoon or something. Or I took the singer's face and melted it off like as if his skin was being ripped off.
Like a time lapse.
In Photoshop.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. And not a lot of music. I would love to.
Yeah.
Because I know now there's a lot of motion graphics in the static album art now. I've noticed.
Oh yeah, and like Spotify.
And Apple Music everywhere.
Oh, I don't look at Apple Music. So
or whatever. I don't even think it's called iTunes anymore. I guess Apple Music, whatever it's called. But a lot of times now they don't just do a static cover. I'm waiting to see when that's going to happen in Netflix, Apple TV.
What do you mean?
and Disney Plus. Well, the covers. Why are the covers all static?
You're saying like the thumbnail for the TV show?
Yeah.
Well, I think
And
with,
movies.
when you hover over it, it
It has parallax.
starts to play.
It has parallax, but it doesn't have like a little animation.
Really?
I'm saying on like, when you're looking at films, if you're going through like movie titles.
I personally, I don't like when I'm on Netflix and I'm trying to scroll through what I want.
Oh, and it just starts playing in the background?
I hate that shit.
Because then you got to keep changing it every 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And going back to it. Yeah, it's annoying. But I mean the actual thumbnail itself come into life.
Yeah. But then there would be a bunch of things moving at once.
Only when you hover it.
Okay. Oh, you're saying instead of playing the sound.
Of playing the thing.
Oh, yeah, they should just play a GIF. But like on that thing, it's like a GIF. On like Spotify, I know. Like when I upload one, it's like a 6-second, either like a video or a GIF.
Yeah.
That goes in there.
And everything's going to be like, that's like some Harry Potter shit. Like where every still photograph or still image is going to ultimately become an animation.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's where everything's going, TikTok, Reels, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. People want, no one wants the static images anymore.
How about the metaverse? You in the metaverse?
I'm not in the metaverse yet.
I'm not either.
But they're trying to, the powers that be are trying to get me in there.
Me too.
Zuck.
I'm interested in it too.
Yeah. They're trying to get me to, people at Instagram are trying to get us to get, I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, to get like involved in it somehow, creator level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so freaking curious.
Yeah, they want us. I want to check it out too. I really don't know what it's about. I don't know. I guess they want us to make content in there or something. But I don't know what that looks like.
Are you doing that thing with that quest and they're sending it and doing the thing?
Oh yeah, but it's like,
Hey, I'm just interested in it.
NDA.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
You didn't sign one?
I don't remember. Maybe I did.
Yeah.
So I might have to drop that.
No, it's fine. Yeah. But I think you did some work for what's his name? You did some work for Zuckerberg, right? Like you designed like a surfboard.
I made a surfboard for him that he wound up printing and making. It just basically took that meme shot of him where he's on the bodyboard thing or he's standing up on the wakeboard.
Yeah.
And he has his face is completely covered with zinc.
Yeah.
It's all totally white. And people killed him over it. But he actually
that he owned it.
He has great sense of humor about it. I mean, he was on an Instagram live, and he had Tank on, and I was commenting.
Right.
And Mosseri was on. And he was just like basically making fun of himself.
Yeah. It's so cool. Oh, actually, he's one of the big guys that follow you, right?
Yeah, Zuck. Right. Yeah.
The creator of the app follows you.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
It's like some Illuminati type shit.
That's cool. And he's DM'd me. I've DM'd with him. So DMing him is a trip. It's like a trip. It's like, wait.
Imagine he blocks you.
Dude, he could literally, he actually at one point said, he's like, don't worry, your account's safe because I make fun of him a little bit.
Right.
Like
as a joke.
As a joke.
Like you're not going to get zucked.
He probably has his finger over the button.
There's probably like a white list, like just you and like Tank are on it. Like
they're all right. Yeah, leave them. Yeah. Don't block them. Don't shadow ban them.
Yeah.
So no, he was. I like that he has.
I would be scared if Zuck followed me. I'm scared to post.
But he likes funny shit.
Yeah.
I made like the dumbest thing the other day, and you never know what he's gonna like. He doesn't like everything. Yeah. But like I made a tampon box with Shaq on it, and it just says like Shaq size tampons, and he's holding a big tampon. And
it's hilarious that he would like that.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And he liked it, and I was like, wow, okay. Zuck's funny, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's like, chilling on there liking posts.
I like that.
I like that too. Like he's actually like, he's getting high in his own supply,
I like that. It shows that he's a real one. As much as people say he's a robot.
Right. I mean, he got some software updates, He's starting to look legit. You think anyone's gonna ever see him like outside of in real life? Think he exists?
No, he doesn't exist.
Yeah,
but I like the idea of him.
Mm-hmm. So you've been on like TV and like CNN a bunch of times. Why were you on CNN? What are you like the most famous like meme guy to go on all these? Well, I
don't think so. Tank is definitely the most famous meme guy. He's been on like I forget if it's Dateline or Nightline, whichever one is not about the like murderers and
Right.
rapists. The other one,
Right.
but he's been on a bunch of like news programs and stuff. I showed up for like weird stuff. Like, so Brandfire is my agency, and I've had it for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And we operate out of Manhattan. It's a boutique agency. We have some great clients that we love, and I do all kinds of branding, marketing, digital presence, content for them. And when I started doing that, I would have like PR opportunities. So I'd be able to go on to, Channel 11, WPIX in New York, and chime in on a topic that was going on.
Right. Something to do with advertising, or
let's say, remember when the I got to say, I was one of the first to say this, that some brands should change. Like Aunt Jemima should not exist anymore. Now it's Pearl Milling Company. Right. But I said this like 8 years ago or something like that, like on WPIX. Yeah. I'm like, it's Aunt Jemima. I go, it's just not right. I said, even honestly, Coca-Cola should not be called Coca-Cola. That's the craziest name.
Coke.
Coca.
Right.
It's like literally cocaine. Like what?
Crazy.
It's crazy that that's the most family-friendly brand on earth.
They literally invented Santa Claus.
Santa Claus has the word Coke on it. And it means the same thing as it means when you talk about doing Coke. It's like literally the same meaning. So that's one of those things. And Aunt Jemima, I go, are you serious? Like it's a racist trope. It's from slave time. How can you put a character like that on a, it was something about brands and how brands should update.
Right.
So I would go on like, just guest spots like that. But I was on CNN talking about this infamous Mike Bloomberg situation, which I still stand behind. I don't want to get political. I really don't. I'm not a Trump fan. I have friends who are, that I love those people. So I'm not saying anything about that. It's just, vanilla chocolate. I don't, whatever, or strawberry pistachio, whatever the hell it is. But I happen to not be, and I like Bloomberg. Yeah, everybody has, but he did this, and he's stopping for it. Yeah, okay. Like,
right.
Yes, I still think he was a good businessman. He seemed like the Trump to me, like another billionaire, but kind of like almost like a better guy. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like he at least like, I don't know. I also don't want to get that political.
Yeah.
I feel like Biden isn't really like, he isn't hitting really.
Nah,
like you don't really hear from him. He's not really so active.
He was sort of, like
I don't even know what his voice sounds. I mean, I do, but like, I remember I would hear,
come on, man.
I would hear Trump's voice when he was president, like without wanting to, at least 3 times a week. I would
he'd love to
hear him
get out, and talk
somewhere. And now like, you just never, it's such a like night and day.
It's, I prefer that, honestly. Like
maybe that's how it should be.
I don't need my president all the time.
Twitter, just like talking shit all day.
Yeah, that's not really. Again, that's not. Some people really fans, and that's the thing.
Well, but that's what made him iconic. That's how he became president.
That was his style.
Place.
Yeah, that was his style.
It worked for him.
As long as love wins, guys. As long as at the end of the day, like it's a little tolerance, a little fucking respect on both sides. To me, that's my only political stance.
Yeah.
And both sides could do better with that stuff.
So what were you doing so that was CNN. I actually went with you to the studio at that time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We went together.
Yeah.
It was raining, no?
Yeah, we went to Hudson Yards. I remember. I think they originally asked me to be on CNN, and I was like, I don't know, dude. I'm scared. I don't want to.
Yeah, you take it. Do it.
Like, let Adam do it, but I'm going to go with him. And,
I was scared shitless. I'm always scared. I go in like, I should have like always scared as a tattoo, like Post has.
What's his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what he has?
He has tired. Always tired. Right, always scared.
You got to be extra burnt.
I'm always nervous, bro. I just go, I went there, and that was more of a bite the bullet thing. When somebody's like, hey, show up on CNN, talk about the Bloomberg thing that that's like sort of a controversial thing.
So what was it exactly that you spoke about?
It was that, the Bloomberg campaign had hired some memers, and I was one of them, to post about Bloomberg. Yeah. Considering, hey, social media is hot, and let's put it out there. And the post that I put up actually did bang. Like it did well. It was like the Danny DeVito one with The Rock.
All those. The whole campaign got a lot of
it did get engagement, but it also got negative. Oh, what are they doing? Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
But I just went on to talk about it and to give them like some insight in it, and I mean, I didn't give him any real straight answers,
Right.
honestly. Like, how much did you make? I'm like, oh, you know,
Right.
$10 million. I forget what I said.
I just think the idea that like a guy who makes memes is on TV talking about a presidential campaign he did is just fucking hilarious.
That's what,
on
that's what I
CNN.
thought too.
Yeah, like you can't say no to that at the end of the day.
That was it. It was like, I'll be that guy. Like Redman used to say, I'll be that. Like, okay, I'll sit up there.
Right.
I'll answer my questions. She was super nice and smart. I mean, it's such a tight setup they have.
That was fun. That was a fun day.
It was a story and it's cool. Like, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you Google your name, you find the funniest videos of you talking about the most random shit. Oh, is this guy on the news? Isn't that the guy who makes the fucking memes?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It is always fun. It's like,
Yeah.
it's what you bring to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Did the guy answer about the doc or not really?
Let me see. This guy is a fucking clown. I love him, but come on. Maybe I'll ask Tank.
I think it's fine. Doesn't matter.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
So you produced a documentary, or we produced.
We did, because you're a producer on it.
Yeah.
But called Meme Gods.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept was basically, you know, like I don't know how you guys started to really come to the office regularly, but at some point we had an office on the west side in like the garment district,
Right.
and Brandfire I'm talking about, and the one that you came to when you DJ'd, and I think Brian, my former partner, had brought like Tank in because he had met Tank at Trevso Electric's services, funeral services. So he brought him in because you were all part of like the same DM groups, I guess, at the time. Yeah. I wasn't. Yeah. But you and Casey and Brian and those guys were all like in the DM group. And Greg, I guess. And so these are all like people that worked with me or my friends. So I guess it started to be that you would come to the office, Tank comes to the office.
Started to become like a little meme hub for all of us.
It was like a hangout.
Yeah.
And then I would see him post something or you post something from one of your accounts and it would like go, it would bang. My friends would be sending it to me. Tank would be doing it, banging. And I would look and you're right next to me. And I was like, there's something interesting that you guys are almost anonymous. And I at the time I was just starting to meme. I guess I had like
50,000 maybe.
50,000 or 60,000. But I was like, there has to be something here. These are interesting people. Let's get a little camera crew. Everybody's making documentaries. Right. Let's just film
whatever.
Quick interview, like whatever. Talk about your memes. Like, I don't know where it's going to go, but I know something's happening. So let's just start to film it. So I kind of got a group of people together and we started just filming stuff. And you remember one of those first nights we set up lights and set up cameras and all this stuff. And we filmed and over the year that we were filming, more and more memers got into the fold. Right. So we got some celebrities kind of involved. And shout out to Adam Olson, one of my best friends, who lives now in LA, but he works with Cedric the Entertainer. He does a lot of digital for him. Yeah. So Adam loved the idea. I showed him, I made like a quick teaser. Because you know me, I like to make stuff. Yeah. I don't just talk.
Yeah. And you can make something out of nothing, like pretty easily. Like with a little bit, you can make something.
Yeah, give me something to work with. Give me something. Yeah, and then I could like chop it up and make something. So, I took one of the first clips we had and I stretched it and turned it into a little like.
It was Tank
talking about like getting picked up, like getting The Rock or whatever to like his post or. And then I made like a cool 3D animation of the word meme gods with the big, all the memes come together and turn into a heart, likes. Remember the whole thing?
We're still using that one, right?
I think it might still be in it.
Yeah, I like that art.
But that was like the first thing just to get people jazzed about it. And I put a beat to it and we showed it to Cedric and he was like, all right, I'm in. Yeah. So now he became executive producer. So now, of course, with him comes, Shaq is now in it. And now, all of his connections and 50 Cent did an interview in it. And which is cool. And, obviously you're featured and Tank's come a long way since we started filming that, between being on Ellen, between ultimately
everything.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere.
He's been crushing it.
He's just crushing it. Yeah. And it was almost like taking a bet on this guy because this was about 5 years ago now. Right. And it was like, all right, I see something's going to happen with him. Yeah. And
kind of just following him around throughout the last few years.
And doing other, we have other friends. I mean, we shot a bunch of different people, Girl with No Job and Violet from Daddy Issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know you got Violet. It's awesome.
Yeah. And Yeah, and a lot of the original crew between Brian and Greg and
Reed,
Casey and Reed is in it.
Yeah, Blake Weber. We got a lot of people in there.
Yeah. Middle Class Fancies.
Yeah, that was really fun. I really liked. That was my first time like producing on anything. It was like, and I realized I can do this.
Yeah, man. You're the guy. I come to you to ask, is this viable? Is this feasible?
Right.
Would this work?
Yeah.
Because you're a creator and a curator.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I was going to ask you the question of what you look at, because I find your curation on a lot of the memes that you don't make, and you make a lot of them, the ones that you don't.
Yeah.
It's the selection of them. Like, what, how are you picking this? It's so from left field. Everyone's like a slap in the face. Like,
I mean, I feel like I try to find ones, like the ones that I curate. I try to curate ones that people haven't seen before. I guess I don't want to like be like, doing like I want
repost page.
Yeah, exactly. I want to offer something if I'm curating, but I try and offer something that people haven't seen before, something that I think is funny that maybe just didn't, hasn't been shed light on yet or something like that,
Whenever I see them, I've never seen those before. So it's always, but it's still just such an eclectic mix of subject matter, but yet it all has the same thread.
Yeah.
On each account.
Well, I think that's what I'm good at. For me, I think my strongest skill is taking something and be like, okay, this belongs here. This belongs here. This genre is this. This fits with that. Like stuff that are adjacent to things.
Yeah,
I'm good at like finding commonalities and just like running with it,
It's a skill, because the adjacents without duplication is hard.
Yeah.
Because I get scared that I get into a rut if I'm doing the same kind of thing. I always try to do that too. I try to like shift gears. Like, at least if I'm running one thing, I try to shift. Other than the Corn Kid, because I have to run that out. That's like, that's going right now.
Yeah.
But usually I want to like pivot. And the worst thing is if you pivot and you lose people, because it's like, oh, I like this thing.
Right. Well, I feel like how big is like the biggest pivot you've ever done that was like that you really lost people,
I mean, obviously when I went from drawing a sketch every day to memeing, right. I dropped from like 30, I built up 30,000 followers in 2 years of a daily sketch posting. And some of them got really intricate. Like, I was working on these things, like 2-hour intricate pencil work at the end every day, 7 days a week.
And like black and white?
365. No, full color pencil.
Wow.
So then one day I'm like, I'm sick of it. I did 2 full books of daily sketch books.
2 years.
2 years in a row.
Yeah. And
let me tell you, like, it was the way I got into this whole thing, but it was sort of a traumatic, like, it was a lot.
Right.
It's a lot.
But it kind of like, it laid the groundwork for you to be able to get into the mindset of making things all the time and constantly, even if you can't think of anything, making yourself
That's
make
the hard
something.
part.
Yeah. Even when you can't, that's hard for me. When I can't think of something, it's hard for me to even just to make something, even if I can't think of it.
The sketching part, like, people think, oh, that's 2 hours a day. It was more like an average of 5 hours a day, because I'd spend 3 hours contemplating what the hell to do.
Right.
Like, oh no, what do I have to do today? Oh, should it be this? I already drew like a little object. Maybe I should do like famous. I did too many famous people. And I would like wrestle it.
Yeah.
And sometimes have such writer's block or drawer's block, whatever, that I would be frustrated. It would be late at night, approaching midnight. I had a long day. The kids just went to bed. I'm like, the last thing I want to do is stay up now. Like, what the hell? What am I? And I'm still stuck. Right. And up until 1 a.m., I'm still, for a whole hour, I wasted. And then I start getting mad at myself because I'm wasting time that I could be drawing. And anger doesn't help the creative process. Yeah. So a lot of those dark moments were like, undertaken. But I built about 30,000 followers. And then all of a sudden I said, I'm not drawing anymore. I'm going to start to post like Photoshops and memes. Right. Because I saw all of you guys having fun posting. And of course, it's not all fun. It's work too. But but you're all laughing. And I'm like sketching things.
Right, like all serious.
All serious. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pivot. And I'm going to start doing that. I dropped like 10,000 followers.
In how long?
In like a couple weeks.
And then how much did you gain after that, though?
Well, but that wasn't a guarantee. Right. It felt more like I fell off a cliff. That wasn't like, oh, this is just a minor bump in the road. It was like, oh, okay, I just lost a year's work in 2 weeks. Okay, like, fuck.
Also, like, I mean, back then it was pretty normal, but now I think the mindset of trying to make something creative every day is very not healthy for your brain. Yeah. It took me a long time to realize that, like, it's not sustainable, you know?
No, it's At least not at that level. If you could do a throwaway,
Yeah.
because now I look at it, I said, you know, I should have just done like a quick doodle, because I used to love comic strips, and they have, of course, like the funnies used to be like these color in a newspaper on the weekends, but every day they were the black and whites, and they were like, whether it's Snoopy or The Far Side,
Right.
those were like little sketches with funny ideas, and they were every day.
Yeah.
So those were kind of my heroes growing up. Like, oh, these guys could come up with not just art, but a funny concept.
Yeah, both. The art and the concept.
Every day.
Which is something that is actually like the most unique thing about you is that like you can do the artwork, but you can also make the joke. Like not a lot of people who are so good at like Photoshop and all these like technical like nerdy skills, they can't think of a joke.
If you scroll back,
it's insane.
My first Photoshops when I pivoted were terrible. Like I look back, they're horrible.
Really?
So
Like,
it took a
what do you
while,
mean
like
by
making the
terrible?
joke. Like I wouldn't
trying
even know
to
what
get
the
your
joke
vision
is.
across, or like the actual quality of the Photoshop, you mean?
If the Photoshop's okay, because I've been doing it even at that point, I'd been doing it for 15 years. It's not like I just learned it.
Right.
But it was more like, what am I saying? Like I would go back and they're overly complex, way too many words, way too many like ideas, like 3 or 4 ideas in the same damn thing. And like, it's like, what's supposed to be funny?
Right.
As you go, you start to realize, oh, there should just be one simple joke.
Right. You can't just throw 5 things at someone.
Then it gets not because it doesn't penetrate. It's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to laugh at here. Scroll.
Right.
So I got better at coming up with the concept, but it's like a process, man. It took like honestly a couple of years through navigating it, and I still fall flat sometimes. You bomb on something, you post something up, and it like just
Yeah. I think, but these days it's I'm more forgiving of myself these days. Like I used to post something, and within 10 minutes, if it didn't get a certain amount of likes, I would delete it.
Yeah.
Now I kind of just leave it, and I think that even if it doesn't get enough likes right off the bat, if I like it, I know eventually it picks up over time.
But that's the key. If you like it,
yeah,
because I'm like that too.
I'll delete it if I think it was bad, and like, you know what, you guys are right, it's bad.
If I'm that's the same way. If I see something, if I put something out there and I know it's kind of lazy, or I know like I don't know, I'm not feeling it, and it bombs, I have no real reason to keep it up. It's like, oh, you guys, right? You guys are right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But if I like it, if there's something about it that I think, nah, I like this, because I like stuff that people don't like. Like I love Tim Robinson, right? He's one of these comedians. He's out of his mind. Tim Heidecker. I just went to see Tim Heidecker.
Oh yeah.
At the
Would you see like stand up or his like show?
Both.
Wow.
Both. He did stand up. He did it's at the Bell House.
Oh yeah.
Here in Brooklyn. He did a Q&A session with a couple of VIPs. So I was able to get in, like, you know,
oh, wow.
whatever. My wife got it as a gift for me.
My wife.
So we went in. My wife, and he's fucking cool, man. He did a Q&A.
Yeah.
I asked him about his diet.
Right.
Like, you know, so how, you know, you looking slim. Are you keto or whatever? And he's I don't want to ask about comedy, you know.
Right.
And then
what did he say?
Yeah, he does intermittent fasting.
He gave you like he said thanks, or
dude, this dude is
so
normal.
He comes off as such a dick online, no?
He's a character.
I know.
He's just a character.
I just can't think of him as a nice guy.
I know, but he
so
is.
hard.
He's a regular fucking smart, nice guy. He's like, he just answers, he's a dad, he's cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, he did a stand-up. He did a fucking stand-up like I've never seen. He did a stand-up as a terrible stand-up.
Right.
Fumbling around, dropping the mic. Like, but dude, if you didn't know, like just a cringe stand-up,
right?
If you didn't know, you'd be like, this guy's terrible.
Right.
It's a genius.
Yeah.
It's genius, right? He does a whole set, and then he gets his band out, and they played like a whole new album. And they gave out CDs at the end of it.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, and the album's good as hell.
I'm sure it is.
But that's the point, is that like, if I'm niche like that, like if I have something and it doesn't bang, but a few people laugh at, like a few people like it.
People appreciate it, yeah.
Including me. Like if I actually am proud of it and a few people appreciate it, I don't care if it has a big number.
Yeah.
You know, because some of these guys don't. Like on some of these platforms, and it's stuff that I love, or like a show that doesn't get picked up that I love. Well, that, you know, I'd rather be that.
You know what's funny? I actually show that show Tim Robinson. I show it.
I think you should leave that one.
I showed it to everyone. I showed it to loved it.
Oh, it's so not for me though, because I show it to people.
Really?
It's so odd.
It's a very splitting the room. Like you
That's
either
what I'm
love
saying.
it or you hate it.
It's not totally palatable. It's like Tim and Eric too.
Yeah, no, same thing.
It's odd.
It's an acquired taste.
It's awkward. I don't even know what you call that. It's absurdist. It's absurd.
It's like they call Tim and Eric like anti-comedy or something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Tim Robinson too. They stretch premises and they change them and they twist them. It's wild.
I really think that guy's a genius.
But then he had a first show that I caught on too late. Detroiters.
Show, yeah, great show with Sam.
Bro, it's my favorite.
Sam
Richardson.
Love that guy.
It's my favorite show probably of all time.
Dude, I love that show.
It's his. Well, first of all, it's about an ad agency he inherits from his dad, who goes.
Oh my god.
Who
and he
loses his mind.
Like, the worst ideas ever.
The worst. They're like a local ad agency that only does these local spots, and they're all terrible.
Oh my god.
And it's so funny.
Yeah.
But that's not like a popular show. If I ask 100 people if they've heard of it, if one person says they heard of it, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
But for me, it's one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah. They're both those guys, Sam and Tim, they're doing like really well. They're pretty active. Of
course.
I'm starting to see Sam in like a bunch of movies.
Well, he was in Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Which is the fucking hottest show ever.
He was also in, I forgot what, he was in like a big like blockbuster movie. I forgot what it was. He was like a side guy. I forgot, like, it was like not like Star Wars, but something big like that.
Dude, they're so talented.
He's crushing it.
If anybody's listening, if you look up, I think it's on Paramount Plus or through Hulu or whatever.
I think it's on Comedy. Isn't it from Comedy Central? Paramount, yeah.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know which thing I look at anymore. Like, but it's called Detroiters.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, if you like that silly, and actually Spice Adams, the guy I talked about.
Yeah, he's in it.
He plays one of Sam Richardson's like cousins or something like that.
Word.
In one of these episodes.
I love that show. Also, it's low budget, but it's like I don't know. I can't explain it. It's so
I know what you mean.
Funny.
It's like a small show, and the advertising company in the show is fictitious. It says Cramblin Duvet because he's Tim Cramblin and that's Sam Duvet.
Right.
I have a Cramblin Duvet advertising T-shirt that I bought from like Redbubble.
That's some real neat shit. Like no one.
And I wear it sometimes.
Gonna know what that is.
I wear it sometimes, wondering is somebody gonna.
No one's gonna ever know. I wouldn't even know, and I know the show. I don't even know.
That's niche.
Yeah.
But I realize I wear that shirt thinking, am I gonna make a best friend today?
Right.
If I see
if one person knows it.
And the theme song is banging too. The Detroiters theme song. I have that on my playlist, truthfully.
Yeah. That guy, one time I saw a video of him, Tim. I saw him skateboarding. He's like a really good skater. And after I saw that, I
didn't know that.
No, he's really good.
He's a real one, huh?
I saw him like hanging out with like pro skaters and shit.
That's dope.
I was like, yo, this guy's the coolest motherfucker in the world.
I know. I want that follow and I want to meet him. But also, Comedy Bang Bang is one of my favorite properties of all time, like whether it's the podcast or the show. It's Scott Aukerman's creation.
Who's that? I don't think
he's
I know
like, he's a heavyweight.
I've definitely heard of Comedy Bang Bang.
Comedy heavyweight. Like, it's so the show, the premise is like, it's a talk show, but you said that's the anti-comedy, like with Tim and Eric. This is an anti-talk show.
Oh, okay.
It's all fake. He plays this character who's kind of, very sharp, very smart, but he plays the reality of whatever is happening. So like, and it's always fake characters. So he'll have one person on, like Bob Odenkirk or somebody,
right, and
then he has somebody playing a different character, like Bobby Flay, something like that, in one of the recent episodes. And they just ask absurd questions. None of it is real. It's all like, improv, I guess you call it. But he's been producing, and I mean, he writes some of the best stuff for the biggest shows. Like he's like behind everything. Tim Aukerman. He's like the guy behind the machine, and worked with Tim Robinson. Worked with Odenkirk.
I love Bob Odenkirk.
You know who Reggie Watts is?
Yeah, of course.
He was the band leader off of Scott Aukerman on Comedy Bang Bang before he moved on.
That's crazy.
But he's
huge.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's a genius.
So you got to check those out too. There were like 7 seasons. At one point, Weird Al became the band leader. Kid Cudi at one point was a band leader.
Was this? Oh, so it's like recent.
Yeah.
And where does it exist?
That's on.
It's on a TV show. I mean, like on a network, or is it like a?
It used to be on Netflix. They moved it off Netflix. Wow. But he's on. But he's a podcast now. Wow. I mean, he's always been a podcast, and he does live shows. We went to see one of his live shows, which is all improv, and it's always him as the host with these absurd guests, and he just asks them all questions, and they play. It's amazing. I mean, it's like this is the stuff that I watch like on my off time. Just I sit back and crack up
Yeah.
you know, at this genius.
What are some of your favorite shows to binge?
Binging, I mean, Only Murders in the Building. Shout out to Mike Rappaport.
What's that?
What's Only Murders in the Building? That's Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and Steve Martin.
Mm-hmm. Selena Gomez is on a show with them?
Yeah, man.
Really?
That's a popular show right now.
Really?
It's like, yeah.
What's it called? Say it again?
Only Murders in the Building.
Word.
And it's about those aforementioned, you know, two comedy legends and Selena Gomez living in this building on the Upper West Side, Manhattan. Wow. Someone gets killed, and then they start a podcast like a mystery podcast, figuring it out. But it's like, it's unbelievable, dude.
That's hilarious.
Tina Fey and
are you into Sopranos at all?
of course.
I got you.
How could I not be?
I brought you a little gift.
Oh, that's for me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. Pie oh my and Tony.
Yeah.
That's you, T. That's you. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah. Tony would get very mad if he knew.
Oh, he would put this in the dumpster outside.
If he knew you had it.
He'd burn it.
I got that when I was at Sopranos Con.
I love this. Thank you.
Atlantic City.
It's iconic.
It's sick, right? You got a place?
With time immemorial.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this in the office.
Yeah, it's definitely an office joint.
And then Paulie Walnuts fishes it out. Oh, rest in peace, Tony Sirico.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Also, who's the other guy from Goodfellas? Well, two people from Goodfellas.
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta and the big guy. The big boss.
Tony Sorvino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big boss.
Wow. Yeah, they all. Paul Sorvino, not Tony Sorvino. Wow, that's right.
Yeah.
Paulie. That's what, because his.
What'd you think of the? Did you catch the Sopranos movie that they made, the prequel?
I didn't.
You didn't.
I try to leave those alone. I loved a movie called Carlito's Way.
Mm-hmm.
Back in it was like one of the
first, like
Brian De Palma, you know, crime
mm-hmm.
in the style of kind of Godfather or whatever, and it was Al Pacino and Sean Penn. It was great. I love that movie, and
Mm-hmm.
Luis Guzman, and they came out with Carlito's Way 2, and I didn't like it, and I was like, oh, I don't want to tarnish. Sopranos is so good.
That's why you didn't like. That's why you didn't try Better Call Saul either, right?
Yeah, sort of.
It's good, man. You got to do it.
I know.
You like it, right?
It's so good.
It is.
It really holds up. It's like it really holds up to Breaking Bad, like identically good.
Well, I love Bob Odenkirk.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's a great lead.
I mean, I have a short story about Bob Odenkirk. Is that I was one time at Saturday Night Live as a guest of a friend, and I just happened to be in the green room quietly, obviously in the back, of course.
Right.
I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here? And Odenkirk was looking over. He walks in, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm starstruck.
Or was he?
Yeah, when he worked there.
Hosting?
He worked there, and I was starstruck. I used to watch a show called The Ben Stiller Show.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Stiller,
I heard of that.
Who's Tropic Thunder, and everybody knows. Like
Bob wrote for it, right?
Bob was in it.
Oh yeah.
It was him, Andy Dick, Janine Garofalo, Ben Stiller, and it was just a sketch comedy show on Fox back in the day. I loved it. It was my favorite.
It didn't last long, right?
I think it was maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's like a niche thing, but that's where I knew Odenkirk from since then. So I see him walk in. This was like before,
right?
Even Breaking Bad.
Of course,
this is like a minute
probably
ago.
like 2001 or something, right?
Even before
when he worked there.
Yeah. So
worked there a long time ago.
So I see him, and he's looking through a curtain at the stage. There was like a window in the backstage room. He's looking, and I just remember I didn't know what to say. I wanted to say something interesting, so maybe he'd remember it. And I go, I don't think you're supposed to look at that. I don't think you're supposed to be touching that. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of went, huh? And he went, he worked there.
Right.
So I just thought that was like a funny thing to say because he's so crazy. And he kind of smiled or whatever. And then I just said, hey, I'm a fan. So do you have any advice about creating? Because like I want to do more stuff. I want to like make films. I want to do. And he gave me good advice. He goes, make it.
Just do it.
He said, just make something. Just get a camera out, get your friend, just start filming it. Don't think so much about it. Just make it. I was like, oh shit.
I think he was the one to like discover Tim and Eric, right? Bob?
Yeah, I think that he really helped
He helped them
accelerate them.
Yeah, get them like on Adult Swim and stuff like that.
And shows like I love sketch comedy shows. So like the Birthday Boys, I'm a big fan of Tim Kalpakis and Mike Haverford, all those guys.
I've watched some of Bob Odenkirk's sketch show that he had.
Bob and David, the Mr. Show.
Yeah. Well, it used to be called the Mr. Show, and then
they just did the
on Netflix. It was called like Bob and Dave, I think.
I'm gonna watch that one.
They redid some of the same. It's the same cast as Mr. Show, so they redid some of the old, like like the Chicago. What is it?
Yeah.
They're all like sitting there drinking beers or whatever.
Right. I know that one of the first cast members is SpongeBob's voice. No.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big hit.
Guy's iconic. So before we wrap up, you want to plug anything? Your podcast, Meme Daddies?
Yeah, check out Meme Daddies on Spotify and YouTube and anywhere else that you'd see a podcast or
And follow Adam the Creator.
Follow Adam the Creator. I would really appreciate the follow. Maybe send me nice, put some nice comments in there.
Right.
And we look at all of them.
Yeah.
So thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
What do you not want people to do?
I don't want you to smoke crack. Not good for you, kids. Don't do it. I don't want you to judge your neighbors so much. Be kind. Be kind to each other. Give everybody a little bit of
be kind. I think that's a good message.
Little leeway.
It's a good message to end off on.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Sweet.
If you're lost, you can look and you will find me.